introduce Lyndon Lamborn to you, the Son of Mount Lord. Lyndon, I don't know if you know everyone here, but if you look around and...
Just about.
You know several. You look around, are you okay with everyone who's on this council this morning?
I count all of you as my friend, yes. I'm very comfortable with that, President. Thank you.
We'd like to begin with a prayer, and I'll ask the Brother to do that.
Amen.
Lyndon, you and I have had a chance to speak several times. I don't know if we talked about how this Jeremy is executed. I may just expound on that a little bit more. I will talk briefly and just give an overview and ask you if you agree with that overview of what I say to everyone here. And we'll give you an opportunity to express your feelings on it. And we'll have open up to these others to ask a few questions and deliberate time and then come back together. So the overview that I would give in our discussion, you and I talked about last night, is we have the Disciplinary Council based on prophecy of you which no longer believe in the teaching of the church, but also has taken some of your personal beliefs and findings and tried to persuade some members of the church into believing the same thing, or I think maybe you would be opening their eyes to some of the facts that you have found. And to me, that is where the real issue lies. It's one thing for you to believe. You're certainly welcome to believe what you would like. But when you start to take those things to other members of the church and persuade them, then it starts to fall the line of the process which requires church discipline. Is that a true overview?
That's quite an accurate overview, President.
We wanted to give you an opportunity to express your feelings on it, as any person would have the right to do. I would ask you not to try and to use this as a forum to share what you're finding to you that are important to you with these brethren here. But in any way you would feel if you want to express something that would defend what you have been doing or why you have been doing it, certain things that you feel have led to why your testimony has diminished as much as a certain mission in the temple, you made all the covenants that we have made. You're welcome to share those things.
Do I have a time limit?
No, just take a few minutes.
Okay. If it's okay, I'd like to stand, if that's okay. First of all, I'd like to express my love to each of you. I esteem all of you highly. And regardless of what happens today, I count you all as my friends and will ever count you as my friends. I have no ill feelings toward anybody in this room, nor to any member of the church. I think the most important thing in life is how we treat other people. And I hope the words I speak to you today will be of use to you and will help you in your perspective in the future, because I hope life is long for all of you, and I think you'll have many life experiences ahead. And perhaps my life experience and my journey will help you understand and soften your heart to people who are like me. Maybe some of your family members in the future will trod the path that I have trod, and you'll be able to look upon them with love that transcends any belief that you might have. And to that end, let me begin my journey, and I think it's important that you hear this. About 2 years ago, a woman at work, her name, came to me with this book. It was called Under the Banner of Heaven by John Krakauer. And I had read a book by Krakauer called Into Thin Air about an assault on Mount Everest. I highly esteemed him as an author and loved his writing style. And she said, this book, Under the Banner of Heaven, discusses Joseph Smith and his wives, and what can you tell me about this? I can't believe that such a highly respected religion like Mormonism would have this kind of skeleton in the closet. And I said, well, I didn't know that Joseph Smith had any other wives in this life other than Emma. I was taught that he had Emma, and then later in life he was sealed to other women. But I'll research it, and I'll get back to you. Here I am, a 4-year graduate of seminary. I've served a mission for the church. I've attended my church meetings faithfully since I was a boy. Love the gospel teachings. And I've been an elders quorum president 4 times, not to mention all the other callings I've had. I says, I'll get back to you. So I read the book. Seemed to have some good facts. I thought, well, I'm not going to trust one book. So I went to Deseret Book and located a book called Mormon Enigma by Tippett and some other authors. And I read that book. And in that book, it details Joseph's polygamy, and also polyandry, of course, which is taking another man's wife to have a sexual relationship with her. What struck me most about that, I can buy into polygamy, but what struck me about this book was the secrecy, first of all. That he kept all these liaisons from Emma, and that he used the story. The second thing that struck me is he used, and 6 women all documented this same thing. He used the story that an angel with a sword appeared to him and told him that he was supposed to propose marriage to a particular individual. And I ask you, brethren, how would you feel if President Hinckley proposed marriage to your wife and asked your wife not to divulge any of this information to you? To me, that was a defining moment. I realized at that moment, I don't think I want to believe in a God who would send an angel with a sword and threaten death to his prophet because he wouldn't take another man's wife to be his. At that point, I thought, the church has obscured this from my vision for some reason. How many other things are out there that the church may have obscured? And that set me on a path. The last 2 years, I spent almost all of my free time researching the information. I found out that this was just the tip of the iceberg. And I was so sad, I was torn apart, as you can imagine. I went through every emotion you can think of. And again, it was the tip of the iceberg.